There are moments in life when everything feels uncertain, when the road ahead is foggy, when motivation fades, when talent feels insufficient, and when the future seems to belong to someone else. In those moments, we often search for inspiration. We look for confidence, luck, opportunity, or a sudden breakthrough that will change everything. But there is one force, quiet and unglamorous, that has always shaped destinies more reliably than any other. That force is discipline. Discipline is not loud. It does not announce itself with applause or instant rewards. It doesn't trend, sparkle, or promise overnight success. Discipline works in silence. It shows up early. It stays late. It does the work when no one is watching, and over time, slowly, steadily, inevitably, it builds destiny. Destiny is not something you are handed. It is something you construct, brick by brick, decision by decision, day after day. And the hands that build it are guided by discipline. Discipline is choosing what you want most over what you want now. It is the ability to delay comfort for growth, pleasure for purpose, ease for excellence. It is the strength to say not today, to distraction, and yes, to responsibility. And while discipline may feel restrictive in the moment, it is the very thing that creates freedom in the long run. Freedom from regret. Freedom from dependence. Freedom from wondering, what if? Every meaningful life, every fulfilled life, rests on a foundation of disciplined choices. Think about this. Talent is common. Ideas are common. Dreams are common, but follow-through is rare. Consistency is rare. Endurance is rare. Discipline is rare. And because it is rare, it is powerful. Discipline is what separates intention from achievement. Many people know what they should do. Fewer people do it. And that difference, small in appearance, massive in impact, is where destiny begins to diverge. Discipline is not about being perfect. It is about being persistent. It is not about never failing. It is about refusing to quit. It is not about intensity for a day. It is about commitment for a lifetime. You don't need to be extraordinary to begin, but you must begin to become extraordinary. The disciplined person understands something crucial. Motivation is unreliable, but discipline is dependable. Motivation comes and goes. It rises with excitement and falls with fatigue. Discipline remains when motivation disappears. Discipline carries you through boredom, doubt, fear, and resistance. Discipline is the bridge between who you are and who you are capable of becoming. When you wake up early, even when you don't feel like it. When you practice even when progress feels invisible. When you prepare even when no one is expecting you. When you keep going even when quitting would be easier. That is discipline at work, and that is destiny taking shape. Every life is shaped by habits, not grand moments, not dramatic turning points. But habits. What you do daily becomes what you do naturally. What you repeat becomes who you are. Discipline is the architect of habit, and habit is the architect of identity. You are not defined by your potential. You are defined by your patterns, and discipline is what allows you to change those patterns. You don't rise to the level of your goals. You fall to the level of your systems. And discipline is the system that keeps you rising. Discipline builds confidence, not the loud, fragile kind, but the quiet, unshakable kind. The confidence that comes from knowing you can trust yourself. The confidence that says, I've kept my word to myself before. I can do it again. There is no stronger self-belief than the belief forged through disciplined action. Every time you do what you said you would do, especially when it's hard, you reinforce your identity as someone who follows through. And that identity becomes destiny. Discipline is also deeply human. It is not about punishment or rigidity. It is about care. It is about respect for your future self. Discipline is an act of self-love. It says, I believe in you enough to push you. It says, you are worth the effort. It says, your future matters. When you choose discipline, you are choosing to honor your time, your energy, and your potential. The world will offer you countless distractions. It will reward shortcuts, celebrate appearances, and praise quick results. But discipline teaches you to play the long game. It teaches you patience in a culture of immediacy. It teaches depth in a world of noise. It teaches strength in a time of excuses. Discipline is not easy, but neither is regret. One weighs ounces, the other weighs tons. Discipline asks you to carry the weight today, so you don't have to carry the weight of disappointment tomorrow. And yes, discipline will test you. It will ask you to show up when you are tired, uncertain, afraid, or uninspired. It will ask you to act without applause and to continue without guarantees. But in that testing, discipline reveals something powerful: resilience. Resilience is not built by comfort. It is built by commitment. Every disciplined action is a vote for the person you want to become. And those votes add up, slowly at first, almost invisibly, until one day you look back and realize you are standing somewhere you once only imagined. That is destiny built, not discovered. Discipline does not care where you start. It doesn't measure your past or judge your mistakes. Discipline only asks one question: what will you do next? No matter your age, your background, your circumstances, or your profession, discipline is available to you. It does not discriminate. It rewards effort, not excuses. It responds to action, not intention. You may feel behind, you may feel unsure, you may feel unprepared, but discipline does not require certainty. It requires commitment. One step, one choice, one day at a time. You don't need to overhaul your entire life today. You only need to make the next disciplined decision. Destiny is not built in leaps. It is built in layers. And remember this: discipline compounds. What feels small today becomes significant tomorrow. What feels difficult now becomes automatic later. What feels impossible at first becomes inevitable with time. The disciplined life is not a narrow life. It is an expansive one. It creates options. It opens doors. It earns trust. It builds momentum. Discipline turns effort into excellence and intention into impact. When discipline becomes your habit, growth becomes your outcome, and eventually, discipline becomes legacy. Because the life you build through discipline does more than change you. It influences others. It sets an example. It raises standards. It proves what is possible. Whether anyone ever applauds it or not, disciplined living leaves a mark. So when the days feel long, when progress feels slow, when no one seems to notice, remember this: destiny is being built anyway. With every disciplined choice, you are shaping a future that will one day look back and say, "Thank you. Thank you for not quitting. Thank you for staying consistent. Thank you for choosing effort over ease." Discipline builds destiny, quietly, relentlessly, unstoppably. And if you commit to it, truly commit, there is no limit to what you can become, no ceiling to how far you can go, and no doubt about the life you are capable of building. Not by chance, not by luck, but by choice. Every single day.